The story of Texas music continues with the most celebrated blues recording artist of all time. His name was Lightening Hopkins, and during his career, he recorded well over 1,000 songs. After his death, the New York Times called him perhaps the greatest single influence on rock and roll guitar players. Rolling Stone magazine included him in its list of the 100 greatest guitarists of all time. Lightning Hopkins was born Sam John Hopkins in 1912 in Centerville, Texas. He learned to play the guitar from a distant cousin, country blues singer Alger Texas Alexander. When he was 8 years old, he met blind Lemon Jefferson at the church picnic. Later on, he started accompanying the blind man in informal church gatherings. In the late 1930s, Hopkins moved to Houston with his cousin Alexander to break into the music business. But by the early 1940s, he was back in Centerville working as a farmhand. Hopkins took another shot at Houston in 1946. While there, he was discovered by Lola Ann Cullum from Los Angeles-based Aladdin Records. She convinced Hopkins to travel to Los Angeles, where he began his recording career. It was a record company that gave Hopkins his nickname, Lightning. He returned to Houston in 1947 and rarely traveled outside of Texas from then on, preferring to perform in his hometown of Houston. In 1959, he was caught up in the folk revival going on in America. In 1960, he was invited to appear at Carnegie Hall alongside Pete Seeger and Joan Baez. In 1964, he was invited to Europe to play at the American Folk Blues Festival in Germany. That next year, he traveled to Japan, where he won an extended 6-city tour. In 1967, he appeared in a documentary of his life called The Blues According to Lightning Hopkins. Throughout the 1970s, Hopkins released at least one album a year and performed at most of the major folk festivals, both here and abroad. Lightning Hopkins died of cancer in Houston in 1982 at the age of 69. He was buried there in his hometown of Houston. This next video features Lightning Hopkins performing his rendition of the popular hit Mojo Hand live on stage at an Austin City Limits appearance.
Get me a mojo hand. I'm going to Louisiana. I'm gonna get me a mojo hand. You know, I'm gonna fix my woman so she can't have no other man. I'm thinking about a mojo hand. I laid down thinking, I was thinking about a mojo hand. You know, I want to fix my woman so she can't have no other man. When she got another man, listen at me good. Can a woman act funny? When she got another man. You know she won't look straight at you, then she does. Always ready to sing.